what's going on, everybody? Action. Movie Phantom here. And it's already begun. Movie Fam here. This is another episode of Movie Fam's Horror Review. I'm joined, of course, by my lovely girlfriend, Maya. Say hey. Up? And, of course, after, like, what, a month? How long have you been gone? It's probably been, like, 3 weeks, I guess. Yeah. Natalie Myers, the leader of the Corn Children, if you will. So, how's that feel to be the leader?
Awesome.
Awesome. And, yeah, we got a couple more reviews for you. Up first, we are hitting...
The horrible movie.
I don't know why she hates this movie. It's classic. It is, well, it's my favorite in the Evil Dead trilogy, Army of Darkness. Now, I'll take it back. It's my second favorite. I do prefer Evil Dead. We'll get to that later. But Army of Darkness, still a classic. And the next one is a film I do not have a copy of. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. So, let's get right down to it. Now, last week I asked the question. Blanking right here. Sorry. The name, it threw me off, and I apologize because I'm horrible with names. I'm just looking ahead here. My God, what was that? That was horrible. So we're all a little slap happy here on the set. This is ridiculous. Last week I asked the question. I said, you know, what are your top 3 most disappointing, like personally disappointing sequels? And this is insane because we literally got like 7 responses, which on this show is ridiculous because like I think the most we've ever had was like 5 and 1, and this is 7. Record breaking here, record breaking. This first name, this is someone new who has hit us up, subscribed to the channel, and has been like commenting on a lot of my past videos, and they comment on this one now. The name itself I can't quite pronounce it, and. Yeah. I'm really horrible with names, so don't take it personally. I suck at names.
He subscribed me on YouTube.
It's Annever Stoof ANNEVERSTUYFT. Either way, thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it. And top 3, he said number 3 it was Jurassic Park 3. Which a lot of people did not like Jurassic Park 3. That one, I'll be honest with you, like I liked it. I felt Part 2 was more disappointing. Like I was just kind of like, and it was good until like they went to San Diego, and then I was like, what the fuck are we doing in this movie now? And then so like, by the time 3 rolled around, I was just like, I don't care, I just want to see some dinosaurs. And they gave me some dinosaurs, and the Phantom was happy. Number 2, Jaws: The Revenge, and yeah, another one that everybody just kind of, that's a guilty pleasure movie for me. Like it's a bad movie. But it's one of those, like, I watched when I was a kid and I really liked it, with, like, Michael Caine just clearly there for the paycheck. And, who was the little Jamaican dude who just, it was like the most stereotypical Jamaican dude ever. And then, of course, you had Jaws, who roars when he jumps out of the water. And, I'm afraid of sharks. And literally, I was just laughing at this movie. Like, I was like, fuck this shark. I can fight this shark, no problem. The shark follows her down to the Bahamas. How the fuck, I think she flies, too. And he's just like... I know where she's staying at. And shows up. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. The Phantom sounds a little out of breath. I was doing some dancing. Not even joking, before we went on the air. It's already like warm in the house because we put the heat on because it's wintertime. But I'm wearing the Phantom outfit, dancing. And now I'm just out of shape and like breathing hard. So apologize for that. But yeah, Jaws: Revenge. Yeah, I can see why people shit on that movie. I personally like it, but it is a bad movie. And then the number 1 was Jaws 3D. And yes, I hated that movie. That movie sucked balls.
Jaws 3D.
Yeah. It was. But see, I watched it in 2D. Maybe it was more terrifying in 3D, but I doubt it. So, thank you. I appreciate it. And once again, I'm sorry about the mispronunciation. I know there's no way I got that name wrong. I definitely butchered it, and I do apologize. Up next, we got Whorehouse. And Whorehouse at number 3, House 2. I believe the full title is like House 2, the second story, which is very clever because houses have 2 stories. Anyways, yes, bad movie. Number 2, Return to Salem's Lot. And I've never seen Return to Salem's Lot. I did not like the first Salem's Lot movie, so I did not want.
Decent.
You liked it? I didn't care for her, so I will not make a return to the town. Now, did you see the original or the remake?
Probably the original.
Original? Older one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't care. Now, I like the remake with Rob Lowe and Donald Sutherland, Rutger Hauer. I thought it was pretty good.
What is it?
Salem's Lot, about the vampires. But, yeah, I didn't care for the first one. And number one, once again making the list, Jaws the Revenge. So, yes, everybody's on that fuck Jaws bandwagon right now. I love it. So, thank you, Whorehouse. I appreciate it. Ghostface Kid 101 hit us up, and his number 3 was Hellraiser Revelation. And yes, a lot of people's pissed off about this movie.
Which one was that?
I don't own that one. That's like the 9th one. And that was the one that did not have Doug Bradley as Pinhead. They had different guys, Pinhead, and I just heard the movie suck balls on every single level. And once again, I mean, I can see where like, if you're a fan of the series and you're up at number 9, I can see where I can be a big blow to you because you're like, ugh. This is the movie that I agree with. Urban Legend 2, The Final Cut. Yeah, like the first one, and second one I thought sucked balls. It's like the second time I said suck balls, isn't it? I'm sorry. And then finally, we got Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. And showing my horror poser colors here, I have not even seen the first one. And I know that's like a huge, especially around this time of year, but have not seen it. Definitely need to get caught up on that. So I actually am going to watch that upcoming soon. Not immediately, which would make sense to watch it soon because it's Christmas time, but I'll probably get reviewed like in March when the snow is melted. So thank you, Ghostface Kid. I really appreciate it. Andrew Beaver said at number 3, Land of the Dead. And I'm a big fan of Land of the Dead, I gotta admit. I can see where people didn't like it as much because didn't quite have the social commentary of the first 3. Even though I think it had, plenty in this one, but I can see where people were just like, I liked it. I did like Land of the Dead. Number 2, he said Scream 3. And, once again, I'm in trouble talking because I actually like a lot of these. His number 1 I definitely agree with. Alien vs. Predator, Requiem. The second one. That was a movie I kind of lied to myself. I was like, I like this movie. I wanted to like it so much that when I watched this piece of shit, I was even telling myself, like, it's a good movie, I like it. I believe that year I ranked it number 2 on my list, 2007. I was like, number 2 movie of all time, of the year. And the more I loved it, I was like, man, this sucks. Like, it was just so bad. It was just so drawn out and dull. Like, I just want to see Aliens and Predators fucking throw down. We got that in the first one. I was happy with it. And then 2 rolls around, we don't get it. I was like, really? You can't add, like, character development later in the show like that. When you're in a series like that, at that point, we don't give a shit. Just kill. That's what I expect. That's what I want to see. And they're like, no, we're going to build the story. We're going to build these characters and then just kill them off. It's like, who gives a shit? I don't know. I wasn't a fan. So I agree with you on that one, yes. Alien vs. Predator 2. Bam. Winter King 1967 said, number 3, Wishmaster 3. I quit after 2. Yeah. I just knew 3 would probably suck, and I hear I'm right. Feast 2. I hadn't seen Feast 1. I hear Feast 1's really good, but I also heard everybody did say, like, after that, it just kind of went downhill. Number 1, and this one, I never heard of this movie, and I was just, like, intrigued by this title alone. The movie is Knock Knock 2. Apparently, in Knock Knock, a serial killer, like, knocks on your door and then kills you, or something, along those lines. I'm like, that's just fucking brilliant right there. It's like, fuck, when a stranger calls, knock knock. Brilliant. But apparently part 2 just wasn't any good. He was disappointed by part 2. So thank you, Winter King. I appreciate it. 13th Wolfman hit me up and he said, Battle Royale 2 is his number 3. Love the first one. I have the first one on DVD. I fucking love it. I think it's just brilliant. Have not seen 2, but I heard a lot of people say it missed the mark completely. Those were your words, actually. You said it missed the mark. Number 2, Beware of the Blob. Same thing. Never saw it. Just heard bad things. It's the sequel to The Blob, the original Blob. And then number 1, and I love this movie. And you said that's true. Like you said, everybody does like this movie. You're kind of minority on this one. New Nightmare. And yeah, it's the part 7, I guess you can say, of Nightmare on Elm Street. Even though it's kind of like it kind of goes off on its own, like a standalone type thing. But, I guess it's 7th in the series. And I did like that one. I thought that was actually really good. Not because the fact that, because I do notice that everybody listed 1, 3, and 7 they love just because they like to suck off on Wes Craven. And whereas I agree those are really good ones, my reason just, I do like the fresh take on it. I did like breaking that 4th wall. I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, but to each their own. So thank you, appreciate that. And finally, Jimmy Maggot hit us up, and he said number 3, American Psycho 2. And yeah, another just really bad movie. And I like Mila Kunis, and I love Mila Kunis, and I like William Shatner, so I was just like, part 1 was so fucking epic, and then you watch this one, and you're just like, really? Like, this is what direction they took it in? I didn't care for it. I was not a fan at all. Number 2, The Fly 2. Never seen it. First one's so effing epic, And I heard the second one so disappointing, and I was just like, walking away. And number 1, Scanners 2. And once again, just showing my true colors here. I've never seen Scanners or Scanners 2. Didn't see part 1 because I know the head explodes. I heard that's like the highlight, and I was like, I need to see that. Didn't see part 2, but Jimmy Magnet says he was personally disappointed. So I want to thank every single person, all 7 of you guys. Thank you. That is awesome. She was shocked. Natalie Myers was like, wow, 7 people watch the show. I was like, I know, right? Like,
I only got 2.
Yeah, I mean, I assume most people kind of watch the top 3 and they're like, well, fuck this asshole. He talks too much, and they just click off. But no, that is awesome. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's epic right there. So this week I was like, okay, so what are we going to do? We got, Army of Darkness. We got, Behind the Mask. I was like, what kind of tie-in can I do there? So I decided, you know what? A while back ago, I don't know, a few weeks ago, we did, top 3 part 2s. So now we're going to do the top 3 horror movie part 3s. Has to be part 3 in the in the series. Now there's going to be a trilogy. It can be a series, but just a part 3, a horror movie part 3. There's got to be an easier way to say that, but that's just how I'm throwing it out there. All right, for me personally, I'm going to say, because I was thinking about it. I'm sorry, I know I'm very unprofessional here. I normally write these down. For some reason, I blocked it on this one. I'm going to say at number 3 for me, I'll definitely go, because I'm going to go Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I know it doesn't have Michael Myers in it. However, still a damn good movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of those movies that is now coming back. Because for the longest time, everybody just said, fuck that movie. There's no Michael Myers. Fuck him. And I think now it's kind of getting its due, it's well-deserved respect. So I'm going to say Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. For me, my number 2 would be Nightmare on Elm Street. Part 3, the Dream Warriors. And I like the idea that, they kind of band together, learn their hidden talents within a dream. I think it's just a damn good, storyline there. And number 1 for me is Army of Darkness. Right? How does she not like this movie? I don't know. Why are we dating? I don't get this. It's ridiculous. All right, so what about you? Top 3 part 3s.
Actually, let's see. Hellraiser part 3.
Hellraiser part 3, Hell on Earth. I like it.
Yeah. Saw 3.
Like Saw 3?
Yeah. I can't think of the third one.
Third one? Well, you've seen Halloween 3. You've seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Or no, you haven't. You haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street, have you?
Yeah.
You've seen Friday 13th. Or you seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
I can't remember if you went through that set or not.
Yeah.
Friday 13th part 3. Children of the Corn 3. Okay. Puppet Master 3.
Yeah.
Puppet Master 3? Alright, there you go. Alright, this one goes out. I know you hadn't really watched a whole lot of the series horror, but you got anything for us? Any part 3s at all? Yeah, you're a Halloween fan. Have you not seen... Well, that one didn't have Michael Myers in it, but...
Halloween 3.
You seen Halloween 3? Alright. Anything else? No? Alright. There you heard it right there. Alright, so I want to know, the fandom wants to know what are your top 3 horror part 3s. You guys know how to do it by now. Leave the comment down below. All my fan friends over on Facebook, leave me a link over there.
No.
Hit me up there. moviefam7@gmail.com. Of course, private messages, encourage. And of course...
Video response.
And how do I do video responses
Leave
now?
the link down below.
Or send me the link.
Yeah.
Personal message.
Yeah.
There you go. So, boom. There you have it. All right. No news this week, but there was another upcoming horror movie that just kind of slid under the radar last second. Opened up this weekend, and it's Spanish, I believe. I think it's a Spanish film. Here Comes the Devil. I said devil like a redneck there. I'm sorry. Here Comes the Devil. I went, devil. Here comes the devil. Here comes the devil. Basically, what happens is these 2 kids go off, like their family's on vacation. 2 kids go off, and they find like a cave or whatever, and their parents like go play and come back shortly. They go to this cave. When they come back, dude, the kids are just acting different. Clearly possessed by something. Saw the Red Band trailer. Which, if you want to see some, if you want to see some quick nudity when you're, in the context of a trailer, I recommend watching the Red Band trailer for Here Comes the Devil. You got titties galore. To me, the story itself seems a lot like. There's a book by Stephen King. I'm trying to think which one it is. It's The Regulators, I think. I haven't read Desperation. Desperation was the first one. Regulators was the second one, I believe, or they came out around the same time. Anyways, the little boy in that one goes off into like this salt mine or something, and fucking some alien evil force kind of gets into him, and he comes back, with powers and shit. And it kind of reminded me a lot of that, actually. Like when I was watching the trailer, it's just like, wow, it seems like almost like the same thing. So I guess, in this case, it's satanic instead of, extraterrestrial. It really kind of piqued my interest. I was like, this actually looks kind of interesting, actually. And I plan on eventually checking it out later down the road. I may not check it out immediately. It was actually limited release, so once again, if you're like the Phantom and you live in a small town, it probably won't come to you for a while. So I say either illegally download it somewhere, which I'm all about, or
wait till it comes out on DVD.
Well, DVD. It'll probably come the on demand first, so may get better luck with that. So there you go. Here Comes the Devil coming out soon. So boom. Now we got some comments. Last week I made a mistake. I called Horror House a female. See, it was like 2-3 weeks before that. We had the same mix-up because, I just assume because it's me that I can really only attract like a male audience. That's it. Like I'm just like, what females actually gonna watch this show? What females really watch horror movies? I'm not saying they're not out there. I'm just saying it's a rare breed. It really is. And so I just always assume, unless it's like the name actually has like a female, like just like Horror Babe or Vampirella or something like that. And I'm like, okay, clearly it's a chick. But I made a mistake a while back ago. Horror Freak 1986 was, commenting a lot, and I was like, it's a dude, and it turned to be female. I did not know that, and I felt really bad. I was like, I'm sorry. So I thought when it said Horror Freak, we started having this dude come on here posting Horror House. And I got the names mixed up, so I was like, Horror House, I think that's the female, and then it wound up as a dude instead. So, man, a million sorries. I do apologize. Once again, I just didn't know, and I do apologize. So, hope you accept my apology. Up next, Ghostface Kid hit us up with some questions. Here we go. Would you rather be beaten with a bullwhip or be waterboarded? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a pussy. I'll just come out and say it. Like I cannot take a beating at all. Like when I was a kid, like when I was in junior high. I was a huge wrestling fan, so I'd watch Cactus Jack get thrown off into barbed wire and shit, and I'm like, I could do that, because Cactus Jack was this Alice-shaped looking dude who was the most hardcore motherfucker ever, and even I knew wrestling was fake. I'm like, that motherfucker's still falling on thumbtacks and barbed wire, you can't fake that shit, and I'm like, I bet I have the same kind of tolerance to pain because we're both chubby, clearly I have to be fucking strong as hell or tough as hell. And it turns out I'm not. Literally, I'm just not a tough guy at all. I would crack under any kind of torturous pressure. Quickly. I'd just start tapping out. They're like, we haven't even turned the screws yet. I'm like, I don't care. I'm tapping out. You win. Here's all the information you need. I would literally crack under pressure. So with that being said, when I first read the first part of the sentence, would you rather, and I see the first part, be beat with a bullwhip, I was like, fuck it, I'll take the other one. But then I saw it was waterboarding, and I was like, man, I would suck at that too, and I thought that would be worse. Because I'm not sure how long these activities will take. I'm going to go with a standard 10 minutes. I think I'd much rather take a 10-minute beating with the whip than be waterboarded for 10 minutes. That just seemed like it would suck balls. I just can't breathe good. I was out of shape or, huffing air trying to dance earlier. I couldn't imagine, having, the rag and they're pouring water and they're like, tell us the information. I'm trying to use, horrible. So I'm going to say be beat with the bullwhip. That's just me personally. What about you, Sweet? Maya, what do you think? Be beat with a bullwhip?
Water.
Waterboarding will be waterboarded. No, bullwhip would suck balls. I'd be bleeding in the back. I'd be crying. Literally just openly weeping. Please just don't hit me again. How many has that been? They're like, 2. I'm like, oh God, please. I'm done. I'm tapping. Here's where the missiles are hidden. I give up all the information right there. All right, Natalie Myers. Bullwhip or waterboarded?
The whip.
You got the whip. There you go. See, that's I don't want to fuck with the waterboard. Now, if it was like the Chinese water torture thing, where I just like drop a piece of water on your brain your forehead over and over, I'd go with that. Like, I feel like I can just like turn that into some kind of like song. And I mean, I'd go insane. I'm not gonna pretend I'm that tough. I'd eventually just fucking go nuts. But I feel like if I go nuts, it's gonna be a fun ride. Whereas
I couldn't do that.
being waterboarded, I just fucking drowned. Or wish I was drowning because it sucked. Next question, PlayStation or Xbox? Sweetie, what about you? PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Xbox.
I'm going to say PlayStation. I just love the controllers better. Even though Xbox gotten better with the controllers. Like, I remember when the Xbox came out, like this big, fat, fucking bulky thing. Like, what the fuck is this? And they slimmed it down a lot. But I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just more of a PlayStation guy. I really am. Even though I'll admit, like, half the games I see that look awesome are Xbox. But I don't know, I'm just like, fuck it, PlayStation. I'm that guy. I'm just like, I don't like change. I'll stick with the PlayStation.
I'm sticking with the Xbox.
I would go Nintendo if they didn't have shitty games. Like, the only thing they got going for them, in my opinion, is Mario, and that's it. And everything else they have that I would even remotely like, you can get on Xbox or PlayStation, so fuck them. But right now, it's how old I am. I still have a PS2. I'm still rocking the PS2 over there in the corner. Or I guess not in the corner, it's right there, but yeah, it's right there. That's how old. I don't have a PS3, don't have an Xbox 360, and I'm not even contemplating, like, should I get an Xbox One or a PS4? No, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm so out of games anymore, it's ridiculous. Like, me trying to jump back in, I'd be over my head. It'd be ridiculous. Top 5 horror movies in the last 5 years, and why? You got
I'll
one?
skip because I don't know.
You don't know?
Skip.
Wow, it's skipping, man. This is definitely going to be kind of a tough one, but I'll give it a crack here. Once again, I probably should have prepared and wrote these down, but I didn't. All right, here we go.
But I didn't.
But I didn't. I'm going to start at number 1. That'd be easier for me this time. Normally I start at the bottom and work my way up, and then this time I'll do this. Number 1, I'm going to say Grindhouse. And I'm talking the full fucking version. The full fucking, like, 4-hour epic masterpiece. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking epic. I love it. I love Planet Terror. I love Death Proof. I love all the trailers. I just think it's fucking awesome. And it was meant to be watched in the double feature format. And fuck you guys who are just like, it's too long. Bam. I'm pissed off that they didn't release it on DVD in the long version. I have to go out and buy a Blu-ray player at some point just so I can watch it again in the full, or get a bootleg copy. Either way, I have to do something different to get it, and that pisses me off. Number 2, I would say Sinister. Came out last year, and that movie was just fucking insane. It was just insane. That's the best way I can truly describe it, is insanity. And I fucking loved it. Okay, I'll say Red State, Kevin Smith. I'm very anti-Christian. People who watch the station regularly, they know I'm just not big on Christianity. So I like this movie just because it was literally, and I mean, I know not all Christians are, redneck, gun-toting, psychopathic, fanatics. I know that. But it was nice to see them, in this movie, and then, most of them getting gunned down. I was happy with that. On top of that, I mean, I thought the performances were just solid in it. I don't know, Kevin Smith did really good at that. I was really pleased with it. So, last 5 years, yeah, Insidious. Definitely, that'd be my number 4, I guess. I may move up to 3. I may put the other one back and put that up there. I may put Red State back to 4 and put that 3. Because Insidious was just fucking, it was scary. I haven't seen a scary movie in a long time, and that one literally, that scared the shit out of me when I watched it, so I loved it. And then, actually, now I'm thinking about it, there's something that's popping up. Conjuring was really good, but I think Conjuring was damn good. I'm gonna say Conjuring right now. Paranormal Activity 3 and I think there's another one I was thinking about. I can't think of what it is. I'm gonna say Conjuring. We'll say Conjuring. Yeah, this another really fucking creepy movie. Yeah, and it made me jump in the theater. So we saw that one together, didn't we?
What?
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. So that's my top 5 right there. Grindhouse, fucking Sinister, Insidious, Red State, and The Conjuring.
You gotta say why.
And why? I did. Like, every time I said something, I was like, this is why. It's fucking scary or awesome. Bull.
Okay, bull.
You're a bull. So, yeah. And finally, his question is, if I could switch places with anybody in the world for 1 hour, who would it be and why? And for me, I'm saying Bill Gates. And let's face it, money. That's it. I'm going to change places with Bill Gates, and for that 1 hour, I'm going to like just take a big chunk of his fucking money. I'm going to download it into my account, and then like literally close my account, or close Bill Gates' account real quick, and destroy any evidence that that's where the thing came from. Like, I don't know how to do it, but Bill Gates would, and I'm like, I'm going to somehow take care of that. And then, I'm literally going to put it like on a ledge somewhere, right? Because Daniel, sorry, I slipped there, didn't I? Phantom is fucking somewhere else, right? Like, I'm still in the cemetery. Somehow my soul goes over to Bill Gates. So then I'm going to have Bill Gates just kind of dangling off a ledge. That last moment. Like, got like 3 seconds left. And then boom, Phantom soul goes back to the cemetery. He's like, what the fuck? Oh shit! And he falls to his death. And they're like, shit, his money's gone. We don't know where it went. And now he ain't going to try to get it back. Boom. Phantom's fucking rich. And I love
Well
it.
said.
Thank you. My sweetie, what about you? Who are you going to switch places with and why?
Hell.
Lucy Hale?
From Pretty Liars.
Pretty Liars. Aria from Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
Alright, and why?
Because it'd be awesome to be on the show.
So you just want to be on the show? You just want to...
Yeah, and get her money from doing the show.
Well, you got to like do a elaborate thing like I did, because you don't
Go to her bank.
You don't do the whole thing within an hour? You can't be on the show for an hour. You're going to be on the show for like 15, 20 minutes, and then got to run to the bank real quick.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. Natalie Myers.
Taylor Swift.
And why?
Because she's a singer.
So you just want to rock out like for an hour? Alright, fair enough. So thank you, Ghostface Kid. We appreciate the questions. You rock as always. And finally, Drew Taylor dropped he actually posted this thing, like comment. He has posted the new Paranormal Activity trailer. Sorry, excuse me, burp there. The marked one on the Phantom's Facebook page. And want to know my opinion about it. And dude, like when he dropped it on my page, the picture of like the two little girls with like blacked out eyes. I was like, what the fuck? That was creepy looking. And I watched the trailer, and I just was not that impressed with the trailer itself. Now, with that being said, I think it's going to be a pretty good movie. I think, I can't judge anything on the trailers anymore. Like, I know it's like the ones I think is going to be awesome suck, and the ones I think is going to suck are awesome. So I just kind of like, I don't really try to judge the trailer as much. I just try to think about, Paranormal Activity has been a franchise that most people hate, but I like. Like, I'm a big found footage fan. There's like, in this movie, they're getting away from the whole found footage thing, which I'm really glad, though, because I feel like I'm tired of seeing like everybody related to this ghost has a fucking camcorder. Really? Everybody's recording shit? It's like someone who don't even like record nothing moves into this house and like, I'm almost recording just for shits and gigs and that. Oh shit, there's that's ridiculous. So I'm really glad we're trying to get away from that. But once again, the guys who do these movies, dude, they're just awesome. Like I literally I went to the theater and watched 3 and 4 in theater and literally jumped a million times during the movie. Like I don't normally do that, but like something about found footage and ghost makes me jump. Like I don't know, every time. Loud noises. I'm just sitting there like, it's quiet. What's behind that door? Bam! Oh shit! Phantom jumps, shits himself. So yeah. So thank you, Drew. Appreciate dropping that on there. So yeah. Oh, you guys, do you guys want to leave comments? Want to leave shit like that on the Facebook page? You got questions? Questions for me? Questions for the guests? They'll be happy to answer. Questions for our other guests? Don't even have to be movie related. Shit, we did top 3 Hot Pockets last week. So
Really?
we really did. Yeah, we had a person ask us what our top 3 favorite Hot Pocket flavors was. So yeah, we'll answer anything. That's how desperate we are, just to be connected to the people on YouTube. We'll fucking answer all kinds of weird shit. So, you guys know how to do it. You can leave the comment down below.
No.
All the fan friends over on Facebook, you guys can leave the message over there. Of course, personal messages.
No.
We'll do that. Moviefam7@gmail.com.
No.
Or
Video response.
video response. No. This has got to be the most unprofessional Phantom outing yet. Like indigestion, I'm out of breath, eating my hangnails. It's ridiculous. It really is.
Not out of breath.
That's true. I'm chunky. That's what happens when you're chunky. You just get out of breath talking. Except my mouth, but I don't stop talking. That's the thing. I'll just keep running my mouth until, I have that heart attack or aneurysm, and boom. All right, so let's get some reviews, shall we? Up first, we got from 1992. Bam! Army of Darkness. In which Ash gets sent back into time to the medieval days. And basically, the only way he's going to be able to come back home is to find the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. Say the 3 words and get himself back in time. Back to the future. Anyways, yes. First off, I gotta say, I fucking love this movie. This is like one of the best movies of all time, period. I will say, when I was younger, this is my favorite. In fact, when I was young, this to me was a standalone movie. Like, I watched this first, and I was like, I love this. Like, this is funny as shit. I was a kid. I was like, this is brilliant. And then my uncle was just like, that's a part 3, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, there's 2 other movies. I was like, really? He goes, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And I was like, really? Why do they call it Army of Darkness? I was like, oh, whatever. Let me watch them. Now I'm expecting comedy. Like, I'm expecting it to be funny and everything. So I'm a kid sitting in front of, like, the screen. And then Evil Dead comes on. It's not funny. It scared the shit out of me. And I remember, like, just literally being like, what kind of sick joke is this? And then 2 comes, I watched 2, and it's kind of like, it's half and half. Half time is kind of scary, half time is just comedy, goofiness. So, in all honesty, like when I was younger, I loved Army of Darkness the best. Now, as I got older, I really kind of fell in love more with Evil Dead, just because, A, it was so ridiculously low budget. What are you doing over there? What we're filming here. This is ridiculous. My God, I can't get good help anymore. I'm firing the corner children. Anyways, no, I definitely love the fact that, Evil Dead's so low budget and, and remains to be, it still, maintains to be scary, but we're talking about Army of Darkness, and yes, it still is one of my favorites. I love this, the comedy. This is the Ash that everybody loves. Like, the thing is, though, everybody's like, and the thing is, it's not just me. Everybody, you read, everybody's like, Evil Dead 1, 2. People always debate which one's better, 1 and 2, and that's cool. But everybody leaves Army of Darkness like to the side. They're like, Army of Darkness ain't horror. Fuck it. Yet, when everybody talks about Ash, dude, they're quoting this movie. It's like people kind of forget, like, Ash was not the wisecracking, awesome badass that he is in this one. In part 1, he wasn't. He was a scared college kid who was just trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. Here, however, he's done. He's through crying. He ain't gonna run home to his mama. He's gonna stand his ground. It's brilliant. Like, I hate reviewing movies that I really love so much because I don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said. The humor is definitely there. I just love, like, and then once again when I got older, because when you're a kid, you're not paying attention to special effects. It's so cheesy. Like, they got the skeleton. They just like throw. You can just tell like someone just threw like these little skeletons at him. He's just like, just wrestling them and get like one backbreaker. Like, that's just fucking gold right there. The quotes in this movie alone is just brilliant. This is my boomstick. I love that, dude. Like, that's just fucking brilliant. If any one of you primates so much as touched me, it's brilliant. He turns around, blows the Deadeye back into the pit. The pit. I love. In fact, when we had a snake, or when I had a snake, and then when she moved in, it became our snake, and then we got rid of the snake. Phoenix, I had a tote that I would put her in, and then I would throw a mouse in there, and I called it the pit. It was the pit because of Army of Darkness. I love the fact that, like, they throw that first guy in there, and it's a couple seconds, and then you hear him scream, and a few more seconds, and then this geyser of blood, it reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street, when Johnny Depp gets sucked in the bed, and like more blood than a human body could ever hold comes flying out. Same thing here, like it literally is just like this gusher of fucking blood. It's like endless gusher, and you're like, holy shit, like that's some fuck. Like, what happened to that guy down there? Like, they fucked him up. The greatest, I remember even being a kid being a little freaked out by the pit, because I was like, man, don't go down. And he gets kicked down there. I'm like, really? Fucking love it though. This is great. Let's not forget, when he goes to get the book, the Necronomicon, there's 3 books. One of my favorite scenes too, fucking, gets bit by one, gets sucked into the other one. The 3 words he, Klaatu, Verata. There you go, I said it. I said the word. Dude, I love that. Like, that's me. Like, I would be that guy. Like, I'd be like, tell me the words. All right, I got it. Don't worry about it. And then I'd go there and be like, fuck, I'm fucked. Love that. Evil Ash. I love Evil Ash. I love that whole scene when they split up and then he's like, you're a good little tissue. That's my review. I'm just going to be quoting this movie. That's how awesome this movie is. I just love fucking quoting. The little bitty guys that run around, I love that part. I don't know. The movie's just great. Love the ending. Love that whole thing. I just love the fact that he's just like, I could have been king. I belong here in this time. And fucking Teddy Raimi's just like, will you say the words right this time? He's like, well, not every single syllable, no. It's brilliant. And then, of course, you know what's going to happen. And dude, he just kicks ass. Yeah, Bruce Campbell's definitely in his element here. This is the Bruce Campbell. This is the Ash that we all love. Like, this is, to me, this is him. This is brilliant. Yeah, just a great time. Fucking love it. I love the DVD. There's like 30 different versions of the DVD out there. So I'm sure every one of them has like the alternate ending. And I love the alternate ending because in the alternate ending, you know, he's instead of saying the words, you know, back, he's supposed to take these like magic potions, take drops. Like he has to take like 6 drops. And for every drop, it's like 100 years he sleeps or whatever. So he takes, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He hears a noise. He's like, what? Takes 5 again and then 6. And then he goes, passes out and wakes up like 100 years later. And it's just like a fucking wasteland of like weirdness. He's just like, no. I love that. Like, you know, like since they didn't really go anywhere with it, like they didn't continue it, I've been okay if that was the ending. Like that would have been a crazy ending right there. But I don't know. Yeah, I was always disappointed never did a 4th one. I know like now like they're going to do a 4th one or whatever. I hated the remake so much, the Evil Dead remake. I would have much rather kept seeing Ash. Like do Army of Darkness. I've been okay with that. Like it didn't have to stay horror for me. It could have been Bruce Campbell kicking ass, fucking just fighting dead eyes. I would have loved to see Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. I would have loved to see Ash just fight everybody. Just fucking like Ash versus Pinhead, Ash versus Michael Myers. I don't care how ridiculous it would have got because it would have been like, well, he's pulling it through. Like he would have pulled it off. Bruce Campbell's that good. Yeah, I love it. Now we're gonna get some hate going on here. We're gonna start chugging some haterade. Sweetie, give us your Army of Darkness review.
It's horrible. It's boring.
What did you not like about it? What was boring about it?
Everything.
Give us a thing. Tell us. Like whenever I'm on your show,
they'll find like stupid skeletons.
It's funny. It's like a throwback to Jason the Argonauts.
No.
Killing me here. Killing me.
No.
So it was just too cheesy for you.
Yeah, too stupid and boring.
Stupid and boring. You're killing me. What about you? Did you ever see this, Natalie Myers? Never seen Army of Darkness? You guys are both killing me. Anyways, it's a brilliant movie.
No.
You guys have already seen it. Yes, definitely. If you haven't, you're living on a rock or you're like this one right here. And you need to check it out. So, Army of Darkness. Check it out. Alright. Up next, we got from 2006, Behind the Mask, The Rise Leslie Vernon. I'm sorry. Before I should have said this at the very beginning of the show, I was going to say this. I mentioned this a while back ago. 13th Wolfman, he hit me up with this thing on Facebook as a game. And I'm sure you guys have all played. You know, they got like one for horror movies. They got one for everything, I think. But it's like a challenge. It's called like the horror movie challenge, and they're like, you know, here's like 100 horror movies. Which ones have you seen? And then go through it. And he's like, here, he threw the game at me. He's like, I thought this would give you ideas on some upcoming reviews or whatnot. And I was like, that's kind of fucking awesome. Thank you. And so I actually started the list last week with what did we review last week? Oh wait, I got it written down up here. Oh, American Werewolf in London. There we go. American Werewolf in London. And so anyways, you're so mean to me. So I started going down the list, from A to whatever. I think it goes down to Zombie 2 or something like that. And the ones we haven't reviewed yet, I'm like, fuck, we're going to review these. Like, these are like the heavy hitters, so we start hitting these up. So these were like from here and for the next, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, we're going to be hitting stuff off this list. So that was, these were all, suggestions for 13 Wolfman, so boom. Now, that said, Behind the Mask was a movie that a really good friend of the show, and really is a good friend of mine. Like, I talk to this kid all the time. Ghostface Kid 101. And I have said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, this kid, like, he, to me, is like the face of, like, modern horror. Like, this kid, he's got me onto The Collector and The Collection, the sequel. He got me to watch Lay to Rest, which I fucking loved. And this is another movie he was just really big about. He's like, you need to check this one out. And he also said he'd check out Hatchet. And I've yet to check out Hatchet. But, yeah, like, all these new, like, this new wave of, like, modern slasher movies, he told me, you check these out. And everyone I've checked out so far, fucking brilliant. Like, I love every one of these movies. This movie I really dug. Because basically the premise is, it's kind of set in a world where all the movie serial killers are real. There really is a Michael Myers and a Freddy Krueger, a Jason Voorhees. They even mentioned Chucky. And anyways, Leslie Vernon he wants to be the next, big slasher, And so he brings this, like, he gets a documentary crew to film him, and he goes through, like, the whole, like, preparation for this big kill, this big, slaughter, this night, this big massacre. But thing is, and of course, that's the premise of the thing. The guy that got to play, I forget the dude's name, because I've never seen anything else. He reminds me of a cross between Michael C. Hall from Dexter. He actually just reminds me of Dexter. Fuck Michael C. Hall. He reminds me of Dexter, like a young Dexter. But, like, mixed with, like, I don't know, Van Wilder. Like, the attitude, he has, like, a Ryan Reynolds appeal to him. And I love that. Like, because he's, like, so, like, friendly and polite. And just, like, he's enthusiastic about it. And I like that. Like, I thought that was kind of a neat little twist. Like, it could easily do this whole, like, emo fucking, I'm gonna be a killer. No, he was just like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. He's fucking giddy and just like, yeah. I thought that was great. I also love the fact that it was a lot like Scream 2. It's very postmodern in like a Scream. I didn't mean Scream 2, but I meant Scream TOO also. It was very postmodern like Scream in the fact that like it was kind of like poking fun at the slasher genre. But yet it remained to be a good slasher movie. Like it didn't forget to be like, it wasn't just like a bad spoof or anything like that. Like a scary movie or a God help us, Shriek, if you know I did last Friday the 13th, or what the fuck that really bad spoof movie was. No, it was like Scream, though, where it would kind of point out the rules, or in this situation, almost like the conventions of the slasher, Like how he's training, and he's like, you don't believe how much cardio goes into being a slasher. He's like, how hard it is to, appear like you're walking, but then to be able to catch up to the teams that are running. Like, it's just little things like that throughout the whole movie I thought was just effing brilliant. I don't want to say too much about it because, this was 2006 and I don't want to give anything away. Because, there's a twist, but I'm not going to lie, if you got a brain, you'll see the twist coming like a mile away. It's still an enjoyable movie. There's a scene where, like, when he's like, there's a mentor, like, he has a mentor who, old school, I guess he's an old school slasher or whatever, serial killer. But like the whole conversation with him, he's like, he's talking about how like, he's like, people like Mike and Jason and Fred, they kind of reinvented, the game. But it's almost like, it's almost like, it's like a metaphor, or I guess like a parable to actual like, slasher movies. It's almost like it's a commentary on the slasher genre itself instead of just like a story about being a serial killer. I thought that was kind of clever too. I thought that was just really neat. And just like I said, it had a lot of humor to it. There's a scene where like, he's kind of mapping out what the night's kill going to be like. He's going through it step by step. And of course, he's talking about how teenagers are going to be having sex in the basement. And of course, as he's explaining and it's showing it. And of course, the girl's getting topless. And then the lady who's interviewing is like, do you think that's a little gratuitous? And he's like, now listen, I'm the one explaining it here. And I'm like, that's just funny right there. Like, I liked it. I thought it was really funny. Yeah, it just, from everything from like, just like how he's like picking the victims and how like, you gotta get like the one that has like friends in each clique. I thought that was kind of neat. To the point where he's like mapping out the house. He's just like, there's so many different exits. That was in the trailer. He's like, there's different exits here you gotta watch out for. You got like 9 exits here on the bottom. There's possibly like, 4 on the top. And they're like, are you afraid don't bust the window out here on the bottom floor? He's like, you never do. They always go to the top and, do it. And I'm like, it just seemed really funny to me. If I had one criticism, and I can't really say too much about it because I'm afraid I might give something away. I just feel like the girl, and once again, they kind of correct. in a way you kind of see like, well, this is probably why. But it seems like the girl who's doing the interview from the get-go is just bitching about how she feels bad about doing this interview or this documentary about a serial killer. Because she's just like, this is wrong. He's going to be killing people. I'm like, well, why did you even take the job in the first place, you retard? Like, I know, like, it's kind of, but to me, I felt like it should have been more like they're down with it until, like, shit gets real. The whole movie, the 2 guys, because she's followed by 2 camera guys, it's like they're okay with it. Like, from the beginning, they're just like, all right, whatever, we're doing it. It's until, like, shit gets real, and then they're like, oh, shit. Whereas her, from the beginning, she was just like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, then why are you doing, like, you're running the show. And then at a certain point, then she's like, okay, no, this is too much. I'm like, really, this is too much? Like, you knew ahead of time what he's going, I don't know. Now, granted, once again, there's a kind of a thing there, and there's a twist, and you're like, well, here's why, But still, yeah, I'm like, really? I don't know. That was the only complaint I had. I'm not going to lie to you. With Vernon, like, the guy who plays Leslie Vernon, brilliant acting. Like, this guy was fucking brilliant. The rest of the acting is kind of so-so. Especially with the camera crew. Like, the teenagers, they're kind of acting over the top because it's just the way they're supposed to be doing. But it seems like the actual documentary crew, it was just kind of hit or miss. I don't know. It does have Robert Englund in it, and he's doing like a Donald Pleasance type Sam Loomis character. And I thought that was kind of cool. And there's also a little cameo by Kane Hodder early on in the movie, so I thought that was kind of neat too. Yeah, other than that, I really don't know what else to. What are you doing? Oh, I saw you in the screen right there. Oh, you're killing me. No, I highly recommend this movie. I really do. I think this is definitely one of my. I can feel you. I feel you on that one. You're not even trying to get away with it anymore. No, I highly recommend this. I mean, this is like I said, all the movies this kid, point out to me that's like all part of this like new wave of slasher movies. They've all been on the money so far. And these are all movies I hope have very successful franchises. This is one too that cause, they don't really have like a fade. They have like a fade to black for credits, but it's instantly followed by like this camera shot, and I won't say anything else. But I mean, you gotta sit through the whole credits, or you can fast forward, I guess. But it is kind of cool. Like at the end, I was like, if I would have been in the theater watching it, I would have stood up and started clapping at the end. I'd be like, fucking brilliant. Turns out I was on the computer in the library and I couldn't stand up and clap. But no, it's a damn good movie. I'm definitely gonna buy it on DVD soon. So that's how much I liked it. I think it was. I can't remember if it was actually released by a sequel or followed by a sequel. I think they was gonna do like a before the match. Are you kidding me? Oh my god! You wait to your next show. I'm gonna just destroy it. That's all there is to it. No, I think it's followed by a prequel. And I believe they're going to be doing a third one. I could be wrong on the details here. Maybe they haven't done a prequel yet. I can't remember. I didn't. Once again, the Phantom being very unprofessional, did not look any of this up. But yeah, Army of Darkness, check it out. Behind the Mask, check it out. Both of them, top-notch horror movies. So, and this is more horror comedies. I mean, there's a lot more comedy in Behind the Mask than horror, but it does kind of go into that route. It actually, because the thing is, like, whenever I started watching it, it looked like it was going to be like completely found footage, and it's really not. I mean, it does have like the documentary. I wouldn't even say found footage. I scratched that. It's documentary or mockumentary, because it kind of cuts between like the documentary stuff and then like an actual movie. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. I highly recommend it. Thank you, 13th Man, for this list, because I'm seeing a lot of cool shit on there that I have not even had a chance to watch yet. So you're definitely opening doors there. And I got to throw a thank you out to the Ghostface Kid, because this is one of those movies that he said like I definitely I should check out. And sort of took me so long to get to it, but I finally did, and yes, it fucking rocks. So all right, well, got anything else to add here?
Nope.
Nope. All right, well, for the movie Phantom by Natalie Myers, and we're out of here. Later.